You guys, it's Elizabeth from Elizabeth's Oracle. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are going to talk about the Sun through Libra cycle for 2017. Some big changes happening courtesy of Jupiter. I'll walk you through some charts. Here are the start times for each section of the video. And yes, there's a little spiel on Mars through Virgo because we do have a lot of Virgo hanging out through this cycle. So again, thank you for tuning in and let's jump in. You guys, so what I do is walk you through the charts first so you can see where things start and where they end. So let's go right into the beginning here with the day that the Sun moves into Libra. You are going to notice a lot of planets in Virgo. We still have the three personal planets, Mars, Venus, and Mercury, holding the energy. And take a good look at this chart. You just see all these planets across the Leo, Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio area. That moon is a little indicator. Maybe the moon that moves every 2 days, but it's giving us an indication of what is about to come because we have a very important scorpionic change during this cycle. So we are going to get Jupiter moving into Scorpio, but I want you to notice when we start the cycle that we have a lot of that Virgo energy, of course, mixing it up with Saturn, squaring that, and of course, opposing Neptune there in Pisces. So that is a lot of the mutable tension that we've been talking about. But as we get things moving into Libra, that's a cardinal energy. So we're actually getting the cardinal squaring going on, and that's going to involve Pluto and opposite of Libra, Aries. So we're building towards, in fact, a huge opposition on the 28th of September between Jupiter as it hits the last degrees of Libra and Uranus. So just kind of notice that that's building. You cardinal people, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, this is you. So look what is coming up in your life, what's coming to a head, and just sort of note that time frame. And that 28th, Pluto also goes direct. So that's just sort of something to keep your eye on as we look at the beginning of this cycle. So let's move on to chart number 2. This is that full moon that I was talking about. You'll see that by the time we get here, Mercury has already changed signs. It's changing signs twice during this cycle, so up to its regular speed, moving around, getting a lot of things done. I also want you to notice in this chart, Mars and Venus so close together, they have an exact conjunction earlier that day. Yay! And this is a full moon that's obviously close to that absolute opposition between Jupiter and Uranus. So that'll still be in the ethers, but it's about a week past that. And Jupiter is in that strong degree. But one of the things I want you to notice, people talk about the polarity, and I always try to teach you guys it's not one or the other. So when we talk about the Libra energies, we talk about partnership, relationship, cooperation. When we talk about Aries, we talk about individuality, independence, getting our needs met. And so what this moon talks about is finding the place in between, because the moon has a powerful ally in Uranus, and the sun has powerful allies in Mercury at this point, and in a very robust, expansive Jupiter. So this time is asking you to find the place where you are getting your needs met, but you are also recognizing the needs of those around you. So little challenge for this time, but this is beautiful first moon of the autumn. So I always enjoy this one. It's usually cool and nice, and everyone can get outside to see it. So let's move on to the next chart. And again, I'm going to expand on some of the themes coming up in the next couple sections of this video. But at first, I like to walk you through, show you where the planet started, let you see how they move during the cycle, and then we kind of go back and clarify some of the things for those of you who want, further information. So now this is one of our first big events in this cycle, or this is, between Pluto going direct, that's big, but this one's probably the one that all the astrologers are talking about, and I definitely equally consider it very significant. So this is Jupiter moving into Scorpio, where it will be for the next year. That's a huge shift. And again, think of all the mutable energy we went through when it was part of the Virgo thing. Now it's been in Libra for a year, now into the fixed thing where the nodes are. So a lot of fixed energy coming online during this cycle. Next chart. This is Venus having her homecoming. I certainly want to give Venus her due, and I want you guys to notice this, because again, that idea of partnership and other and what we love and relationship gets really emphasized when Venus is in one of her home signs. So Libra, that Libra thing is going to continue for the time that Venus holds the energy and stays in Libra even after the sun changes signs. Okay, and the final chart here for this month is going to be Mars moving into Libra. Another big thing. Look at that alignment of things in Libra. Of course, the sun is getting ready to change signs later that very day. And in this chart, the sun will be a couple days past its opposition to Uranus. So that's what I was talking about. Those cardinal tensions are going to be in evidence. So again, look, this leads us right up to the Scorpio cycle, and I want you to kind of look back. Let me look at that first chart again. Look how everything was in Virgo, or so many things. I'm sorry, the personal planets. We had Venus, Mars, and Mercury there. Now look at the end. We've made this huge transition, and things have taken on a very different energy by the time we get to this, and including Mercury has moved all the way into Scorpio. So when I was pointing out that moon at the beginning, I was like, it's a little signature. We've got this energy coming in, and we have that new moon also at the end of the cycle. Again, that new Libra moon. So it's a very late degree Libra moon if you want to set some partnership intentions before we wrap up the sun cycle. Last thing that I want to point out before I go a little more specifically into the Mars and Virgo thing that will last until the 22nd of October, and then of course the Jupiter and Scorpio thing. I do want to point out in these charts, everything as it travels through Virgo is going to be in that quincunx angle to Uranus, and everything as it moves into Libra, the personal planets mainly, are going to be in that quincunx to Neptune. I had to keep those two straight. Two big outer planets, Neptune in Pisces, Uranus in Aries, and they both kind of mess with the personal planets in those other signs, because I talked about this a couple of videos back. The quincunx, they are not in the same element, and they are not in the same modality. So it's really disconnected. So as you kind of meander your way through this cardinal energy, if you still feel like you're putting pieces into place, you are doing great. These energies can be a little confusing, but keep moving. All the cardinal stuff is coming online. So let's go to the Mars and Virgo thing, because this is so important, and I really think it's going to be helpful to a lot of people. All right, so Mars in Virgo, you guys, a lot of astrologers are talking about the other aspects with Jupiter, but I've got to cover this one because this one feels so important to me. Virgo is super organized. Virgo can stay calm and rational in pretty much any situation. It is a very caring sign. It has to do with our health. It has to do with daily routines. And as you've seen from these charts, we have planets there through so much of this cycle. Mercury till the 29th of September, Venus until the 14th of October, and Mars all the way to the end. And it's this Mars thing, our energy, our drive, our passion being in Virgo, that the guidance I've been getting is that this is a really important time to organize things and to make daily goals and lists for yourself for implementing your goals. And even if you write down 5 things and you only accomplish 3, just add the other 2 to the next day's goals. Getting the information that is so important for you guys to not be lethargic or think, oh, I'll get to it later, or, I'm going to just watch another video. It's really important to be taking action when Mars is involved, and it in Virgo, though a lot of astrologers don't like that aspect, I think it's extremely productive, and especially this year with regard to health routines and health concerns, any improvements you've been thinking about making, this is a great time to be implementing them. So that's my guidance on Mars through Virgo. It's such a motivational energy, and it can help you make ideas so tangible and bring them right into practical reality. And the guidance that I hear is that it's really going to help shift things for you. And as you sort of move with the universe will be really moving with you if you take advantage of this Martian power. All right, so let's move on to Jupiter in Scorpio. Okay, I don't know why I had to say Scorpio, but I have to say that. So, couple things, and there are tons of other videos, you guys, and so there's so many aspects, I can't possibly cover them all. However, things I would like to point out to you guys. One, if you really want to know how it's going to impact you, of course, have your chart done. Doesn't matter if it's with me or whoever. Just find out where it is in your chart, what planets it's impacting, etc. So, that being said, Scorpio is a fixed sign. It is the sign of detection and detectives, of secrets, of intimacy, of other people's money. It is Pluto ruled. So when we talk about Jupiter, which we like to think of as the lucky planet, good fortune, expansion, and all that happy stuff, it coming into contact with the Scorpio energy means things that have been hidden will continue to be revealed. I see this as very big politically, no matter what side of the aisle. I think secrets are coming out all over, and I think also in the spiritual world. So, and that's not necessarily a scary thing, but what I would say, if you are a Scorpio who's been doing your work from a very pure and good place, you have a lot of blessings coming your way during the next year. And, it's kind of the naughty and nice. If you've been nice, Jupiter brings gifts and rewards. And this is a once every 12-year gift that comes, and it helps you, which of course Scorpios know you guys got to actually take the opportunity and put the work in to make it happen. But it's nicely aspected with Pluto in Capricorn, and later on Saturn in Capricorn. You're going to get a lot of support for this. Other part of that is look at how this impacts the fixed energies. We've been going through 2 years of mutable. I won't even repeat it again. So we've had that. And of course, we started to get these cardinal energies coming online. So you guys are getting direction and starting to, change some things and implement those changes. Well, the fixed thing, as I have been talking about, is helps us ground it in and helps us, really have some anchoring. So when those nodes shifted back in May, that brought the Leo Aquarius thing online. This piece is very big. Jupiter moving into the 3rd fixed sign, and by next May, Uranus, of course, moves into Taurus. So all 4 fixed signs are going to be activated. Now, again, because it's a square, the fixed people, this is your Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio. And so for you guys, this can definitely be like making choices because there's squares and oppositions, or finding your place along those. But I think it'll also bring in some anchoring. And so it's not just that shot out of the gun like the Aries energy. We need the grounding aspect of it as well. So those are just some real, off the top of my head notes and on this. It's a cycle that will last till the 8th of November next year. And I would say my biggest prediction about it, and I try not to be like Miss predictor, astrologer, psychic, or whatever, light worker. But I see the first hit I got about this was, wow, look at the scandals that are going to come up, particularly in politics and things that have been hidden from us and investigations that were put to the side because Scorpio is the detective. It gets in there. It has to purify things. And if we think of it from its highest perspective, it is shamanic and it is there to heal things. And we cannot heal what we won't talk about. So some of these may be along the lines of more sexual scandals because, Scorpio goes there. But again, abuse of power, all those Pluto themes with Jupiter bringing it out. So I would almost, I'm looking forward to looking at the retrograde cycles of this because a lot is going to come out in the next year. So that's kind of my take on that. And then let's jump into the close and wind this puppy up. All right, you guys, I am Elizabeth from Elizabeth's Oracle. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find out more about me or schedule a reading at elizabethsoracle.co. I also do a show with my friend Kristy Ayala on Kristy's Connection to the Soul at Blog Talk Radio. And that's available live and via archive at your convenience. The links for everything are always in the description box. I offer a free newsletter. I'm always respectful of your information. I treat you guys like I want to be treated when I join a list, and nothing's ever shared or sold or anything like that. And it just kind of gives you a reminder that the new video is up, and it has sometimes specials that I don't always run on the YouTube space. So, and it's just a good way to stay in touch. And if you'd like to subscribe or comment, that's totally welcome as well. Otherwise, I'm going to see you guys when the sun heads into Scorpio, but we will, from that very first chart, with that moon dipping into Scorpio, its presence is already here from the very beginning of this cycle. So happy autumn to you guys. We made it through summer of 2017. It was pretty tumultuous. Some pretty dark forces were trying to start a lot of trouble here on this planet. And I think all you light workers who keep sending light to things are making a huge difference. And I'm really glad that we made it to the autumn where heads can cool, where we have an energy of cooperation and consideration coming in. So lots of love to you, and we'll see you next month.